known as the Self-Esteem Queen. And for the last 10 years, I've spent my life rescuing teenage prostitutes and teenage runaways from all over the United States. And I've traveled abroad really talking about child trafficking. That's because I used to be a teen prostitute.
I'm Karrine Steffans. I'm the New York Times bestselling author of 4 titles. For the last 7 years, I've been speaking to audiences such as you guys, mostly about interpersonal male-female relationships and something that I've studied and been really interested in, which is the effects of the sexual revolution and how the residual madness left behind has affected male-female relations today. So, do you want to start? I'll let you. No, you go ahead. It's okay. See, this is this is Don. Don and I have never spoken before, by the way, except for on the phone and like on Skype. So this is like the first time we're actually talking in front of people together as a team. So we'll have to figure this out as we go. But I'll let you start.
What we'd like to do is just basically have a conversation about some of the different myths about different relationships. And, you know, sort of talk to you guys about some of the myths that perhaps you may not even know is a myth. Some of the things that you may be participating in now that may be hindering your relationships with other people.
First and foremost on our list of things will be gender equality. Somewhere, and I wasn't alive, but as my mother tells me, in the late 60s, early 70s, there was this thing called the sexual revolution, wherein women decided they wanted to be equal to men. Now, I understand this as far as wages. Same work, same wages. I understand this in those instances. I think where it hurt us is socially, wherein women wanted to abandon their traditional roles and felt as if they were now bad and wanted to do exactly the things that men were doing and do everything like men, which includes sex, actually. And the outcome of that was this thing that a lot of us have heard, especially I think in certain ethnic communities, which is the independent woman. And a lot of us have heard our mothers say, I'm an independent woman. I don't need no man. I don't need nobody. I can do whatever man. I am mother and father to my kids. That's impossible. You can't be mother and father because you're a woman. You can't be equal because you're a woman. You're different. Doesn't make it that you're less than. Not being equal doesn't mean less than. And somehow it got lost in the translation that if you weren't equal, that you were instantly then less than. Who's to say you're not already greater? And so I think this is where a problem starts when it comes to gender equality and whether or not that really exists. What do you think?
Here's the question. How many men, with the exception of the one we saw on TV, can carry a child? Do you know of any?
And that was actually a woman.
And so, you know, right there, you know, there's a myth. The myth that a woman is inferior to a man is totally a myth. Why? Because men can't carry children. Carrying children is how our population continues to expand. Men can't do that. And so here, women don't see their power. I mean, there are a lot of women who say I'm independent and I'm carrying the child, and sometimes they're saying that because they're carrying the child to manipulate the man. But the reality is that a man can't carry a child. So a woman should already be thinking, I'm inferior. No, you're superior. You're superior because you're the person that's carrying on to the next generation, the next generation, the next generation. And a lot of women, you know, want to be equal to a man.
I don't think that you want to do what men do. Really. Seriously. There are things that I think that men do that are amazing. And I don't want to do them. I don't want to do what you guys do. Men have to work so hard. And especially men of certain races who are behind the 8 ball from birth, who are stereotyped every day, who are pulled over by the police and followed in the store, who are judged, who are shot down in the street because they're Latino, because they're black, because they're men. And I don't want the burden that men have. I want to respect the burden and shelter and nurture the men in my life, but not be equal to them. As I am sure the men in our lives don't want to do what we have to do. They don't want our jobs.
Not easy.
Men don't want our jobs. They don't want to do what we're doing. So why do we so badly want to be anything other than women, as if it's not good enough? I say a woman's place is in the kitchen. I say a woman's place is in the